Okay, folks, we're out here making some outdoor furniture, and folks had questions about why their pieces are not coming out the same length. Working with some of this lumber, the big stuff outside, one of the things, some things we've learned is these ends, when you pick it up at the lumber yard, they're not always square. This one's pretty good, but some of them you might find it's cut a little crooked. They're not always the exact length that you buy. That's lumber companies will leave a little bit extra sometimes in case there's some checking or just something messed up on the end. So check your end when you start to make sure it's square, because if it's not, then you measure 32 3/4 inches from this side down, or if you measure it over here, you'll come up with different measurements and it won't be square on the other end. So today we're cutting a step for a staircase. So this end looks good. I'll slide this down. Do all this one-handed. I've already made a mark down here. Yep. I need a table assistant. Come in and find out where you want your measurement to be. So 32 3/4. Depending on what you're building, you might be able to, if you're off just a little bit, it's probably not a big deal, the wood moves. But if you're trying to get legs that are all the same length, then you do want to pay a little more attention there. So we'll get it, we'll mark it. And I know we like using a Sharpie. I know this Sharpie's about the width of our saw blade. So when I cut, I want to make sure that that mark goes away. I don't want to cut too much on this side. I don't want to cut over on that side. So you hear people cut to the line or cut outside the line. So when you mark it, you need to make sure you know where you're actually going to cut it. So I hope that part of it makes sense. And then what we like to do if we're making legs or treads is we'll cut the first piece and we'll make sure it's the length that we want, and then we might come back and we'll put a little M on it for master, and then we'll use this piece to go down and mark all the next pieces for the next cuts, especially if you're doing a bunch of them. Instead of measuring 32 times, now you've measured once, and you just use this first board. And then you remember when you get towards the end how many boards you need. You've still got this master that can go into it. And you know, for fun, put your family name, your initials, or the date or something on there so someone later can be looking at it. So those are a few tips to make sure that you're getting the lumber, the lengths and the angles that you want it.